All right, time now for Better Fitness. It turns out that, unfortunately, you can't get a six-pack overnight unless you go down the beer aisle, a big one.
Darn. All right, yes, it does take a lot of hard work. So what should you be doing, and when should you start to get the abs you want for summer?
Taylor Bidmead and Michael Jelly from Fitness Together in Rocky Hill are here with us to answer that question.
Hi guys.
So the first question I want, as I always hear, 6-pack, 8-pack, 12-pack. I mean, how many packs do we have?
Yeah, what's the maximum pack you can really have?
The maximum pack you can have is a 12-pack. So you can have a couple 6-packs. Yeah, one for each hand. Yep.
That is really incredible. And do you see people who have actual 12-packs?
Yeah.
Really?
Really? Yep. Athletes mostly.
And we all
count
have
12
them.
things?
Yes, they're all in there.
They're all in there. They're just covered by, in my case, fat.
Depends on the person, yeah.
So that's part of, I mean, obviously we know when we talk about the abs, you're going to show us some great moves and how to do them right, but you can't out-train your fork. If you really want to shred your abs, you have to change your diet.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, and it really does come down to diet when you're talking about the abs, because that's what they always say that's the last thing to pop. I don't know if that's the case or not. But.
Yeah, you are what you eat, and unfortunately we lose weight from the extremities inward. So if you want a nice stomach, you gotta keep
my hands are so thin.
Is that true? So it comes off our legs and arms first, and then it gets into our stomach?
Yeah, typically that's where you're gonna see your weight loss first, because your body doesn't pick where the fat comes from, so you're gonna see it in your smallest parts first.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Okay, so before we get down on the floor, like, what's a general guideline if you want to start getting better abs for the eating? Because we have to change our diet. So no carbs, or how much?
So one of the first things that I recommend to everybody is watching your refined carbs, because your body's looking for nutrients. When you have refined carbs, which are things like bread and pasta, the nutrients that are in the bread and pasta that your body's looking for is the whole grain. So instead of having bread with your toast in the morning, you're better off eating the oatmeal. Just eat the whole grain itself.
Eat the whole grain
No
itself.
sugar added, yeah.
Or like an Ezekiel bread or something that is a whole grain. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I did buy English muffins yesterday, and I did buy the whole grain.
Nice.
That's better than nothing, right?
Absolutely.
So long as the ingredient
sounds
actually
good.
says whole grain on the back.
Everything in baby steps.
Everything, exactly. And they were buy one, get two free.
Oh, even better. All right.
Unbelievable.
Can we buy one ab and get 6 free? All right, so Michael, you're going to demonstrate a couple exercises?
Awesome.
All right, so I'll just get down on the floor here.
Okay, so the first one that he's going to show is a dead bug. And this is my favorite, because I'm going to get down on the floor too. Because when people come in and they want to work on their core, they always think that they should be planking. But there are many places that you need to go before you reach a plank, right?
Oh.
So everything in baby steps. So this dead bug, I'm actually going to have you leave your head down on the floor. He's actually tucking his core with what we call an anterior tilt. So a big difference between doing an exercise and doing an exercise the right way when you're working on your abs is to actually engage your core. So Mike, I'm going to have you stand up for a sec so you can show them what an anterior and a posterior tilt looks like on your pelvis.
Okay.
So when he's down on the floor, he's keeping his back flat against the mat. Okay. So your lumbar naturally has a curve in it, and you have to close that out.
Push it down. So you shouldn't have any like light or space under there.
Exactly. So we call that an anterior tilt. Can you show us what an anterior tilt looks like?
So basically when you just push your hips forward like this.
Exactly.
Perfect.
You got it. So he's pulling his pelvis up towards his rib cage. You're thinking about making your belly button a straight line. And then an anterior tilt is the exact opposite. So go back to neutral. Then an anterior tilt, go ahead. You're pushing your butt back.
Okay.
So what I see people do wrong all the time is when they're trying to work their core, they're not actually getting that anterior tilt in. You can come back into your dead bug.
Perfect.
And without closing out this gap underneath his back right here. If I put my hand right on the small of his back, he needs to crush down on my hand. If he's not doing that, he's actually using his back muscles.
As opposed to the ab muscles.
And that's what happens sometimes is if we start to get tired, you do naturally start to use other parts of your body.
Exactly.
So you're not really
You'll start
getting
to
your core.
overcompensate, and you'll use your back muscles. And a lot of individuals will come in with lower back pain because their core is very weak.
Right.
So that even goes with our postural assessments.
Okay.
So this would be a starting stage for anybody. So the shoulder blades are up off the mat, which gets your 2 and your 4-pack abs, and keeping the weight of your legs consistent over your pelvis. You're doing an awesome job keeping this here the whole time. Is being held up by the 8 and 12-pack abs, or what we call the core. Commonly people think their core is like anywhere in their stomach, but it's not. It's actually deep lower in your pelvis, and it keeps your spine nice and sturdy.
Okay. What else you got?
Good. So if this is easy for you, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to rotate, leave the hands right where they are, rotate the heels down towards the mat, keep the knees locked, and pull back up. Okay. Again, I'm going to keep my hand underneath the back. The second I feel his back start to cave and give, I'm going to tell him to pull his knees back in towards his chest.
So you're not really doing
Nice
anything. If you're in a class and they're like, here, the hardest way is this way. You really want to do it right. So if you start going for the hardest thing or trying to push it and you're losing your form, you're actually wasting some of your time.
Right. or you're going to cause
Hurt
an injury
yourself.
to your back, right?
Okay.
So the next thing we can do from here is I'll have you put your feet down and we're going to do a regular sit-up. So your hands are going to go down on either side. And again, the most important thing to do when you're doing a sit-up is to protect your head and your neck. So what I'm going to have him do again is get your shoulder blades up off the mat by pulling his shoulder blades together towards his face. And I'm going to have him bring a nice tuck to his chin, but not too far. What we're doing here is we're supporting the neck so that he moves as one unit.
Okay.
And the real reason that we do a sit-up, you can take a break for a sec, is that the weight of your head is very, very heavy. So you're actually taking that weight and you're using these muscles to lift the weight and retract it back down to the mat. So I'll have you come back up into that sit-up position. Good. Now from here, we're going to slide the fingertips forward about 10 centimeters. Sit up and back down.
Perfect.
So
Thank
you're
you,
gonna-
guys.
Thank you so much.
Nice job. Give me 3 more.
Appreciate it. All right, while they
Get a full
continue,
core workout today.
To learn
Yeah.
more about personal training and other workout classes, be sure to check out fitnesstogether.com/Rocky Hill.